Welcome to episode 6 of Follower Favorites, where I read and review your favorite books. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about The Girl I Used to Be by April Henry. Before we get into the review, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Nide. I make bookish content, especially reading challenges and book reviews. So if that sounds interesting to you, please don't forget to follow and join our bookish community. We would love to have you over here. Alright, so back to the book. This is a young adult mystery thriller book where we follow Olivia, who when she was 3 years old, her mom was murdered and her dad was nowhere to be found. So everybody just assumed that he killed her and ran away. However, 14 years later, now that she's 17 years old, they actually found a piece of her dad's body. So that means that the killer is still at large, and our main character, Olivia, will do anything to find out the truth. So like always, let's go ahead and start off talking about the things that I actually did like about this book. The main thing that I enjoyed about this book was the setup for the plot. I was very interested in the book for the first few pages where we were starting to find out who everybody was and what happened to her parents. But unfortunately, other than that, I don't think I enjoyed anything else about this book. So moving on towards the things that I didn't like about it, I actually did not really enjoy the rest of the book after the first big setup. I just found the rest of the story very dull and I was just very uninterested in what was going on. I also didn't really enjoy the romance that they tried to throw into this book. I just felt like it was very unnecessary and it was not very developed at all. So I really didn't care for it. And I just really don't know why they decided to add it into the book because I don't think it was necessary. Also, the big reveal, the big plot twist when we finally find out who the killer was just absolutely fell flat for me. And I just didn't really love the explanation. I just thought that it could have been so much more exciting than what it was. So I just didn't really enjoy the big reveal and the big plot twist. So unfortunately, that means that for my final rating, I'm going to end up giving this book a 2 stars. I think that this book had so much potential. The plot, like I said, was very intriguing. Just the execution just fell flat for me. Unfortunately, it just wasn't a book that I enjoyed. All right, so that's everything that I thought about The Girl I Used to Be by April Henry. Thank you so much to the person that recommended this. And don't forget, you can still recommend me more of your favorite books. Just leave them in the comments so I can add them to my list so I can eventually read them and review them for you guys.